The Good Inside song in this movie would be super appropriate for the moment in Return of the Jedi when Vader finally turns back to his good side and defeats Palpatine.
Everybody has a lot of good inside them, and everybody has a little bad. Everyone is going to make you happy sometimes, and everyone is going to make you sad. Good inside.
The Land Before Time VII, The Stone of Cold Fire, the 2000 director-to-video sequel to Don Bluth's 1988 masterpiece, The Land Before Time, and is the 7th installment in the Land Before Time franchise overall. So, The Stone of Cold Fire tells the story taking place after the events of Secrets at the Saurus Rock. Littlefoot, one night, he spots a mysterious flying rock in the sky, and two rainbow-faced dinosaurs who are technically aliens taking the form of dinosaurs inform Littlefoot that flying rock is a stone of cold fire which contains magical powers. This gets the attention of Petrie's banished uncle Pterano, who plots to track the stone for its power with the help of his henchman Bringus and Sera. Though is there more good inside Pterano than we think? Special shouts out to my buddy on YouTube, Anthony Fours, who is the most dedicated fan of the Land Before Time franchise out there. This is his personal favourite Land Before Time sequel of the 13, and this was one of the few that I did have on VHS at the time. And also shouts out to my other buddy on YouTube, Mr. TARDIS11, aka Ollie Pajak. This is one of his favourite and most nostalgic Land Before Time sequels also. Yeah, me, my mum and my sister were obsessed with this one, and back in the day we watched it literally over and over again, and but Stone of Cold Fire is one of the Land Before Time sequels that is fresh in my mind, and rightly so. It is rare that a 7th installment in a franchise turns out this good. I mean, seriously, Stone of Cold Fire would be my second favourite Land Before Time sequel, and my third favourite in the franchise overall. If only the sequels after this could have kept the standards of this and Journey Through the Mists. Forget straight to DVD or VHS. Stone of Cold Fire and Journey Through the Mist deserve cinematic releases, and this sequel is deep and likeable for all ages. So let me get to my positives. This movie is Petrie's story. It is about time that Petrie got this level of development. We get to see more of the flyers in Stone of Cold Fire, while the majority of Land Before Time sequels focus on the long necks. This sequel takes a break from that, which is a good thing. And Petrie's uncle Pterano, he is one of the most terrific and compelling characters in the entire Land Before Time franchise. His backstory is dark, where he once wanted to be in charge of the herd, not just a part of it, and some of the herd willingly became his followers, but he unintentionally led them into a group of raptors and was responsible for the death of literally 50% of the herd. So the herd exiled him as punishment for this, even though Pterano never intended that to happen to them. And now Pterano, once he hears about the Stone of Cold Fire, he is intent on locating it so that the Herzer will accept him again, and the Great Valley will come to respect him again. But in all his stubbornness and blindness, there is a lighter side to him. He especially starts to reveal this after he loses Ducky in the cave. he never wanted to harm her. He just didn't want her to expose his intentions to the other members of the herd, and he does redeem himself when he had saved Ducky's life. And because of Pterano's return, there's plenty of drama going on for Petrie, because he idolizes his uncle and is always defending him from the herd's criticisms. But as well as Petrie's movie, this is also a Ducky's movie in my eyes. And yeah, even Ducky gets more screen time that she does deserve, because Ducky is totally my favourite of our five protagonists. And she's the first of the herd to see the good in Pterano, which goes to show her what a sweetheart she is, even after he freaking kidnapped her. She does notice that he did regret that, and even Petrie's mum and Ducky's mum get to be involved in the plot. So like Petrie's mum, she's having to deal with some complicated drama with her exiled brother returning, who she has a complicated relationship with because of what he did. And Ducky's mum, you feel extremely sorry for her after her daughter has been taken from her by the flyers, and it's a awesome moment when she stands up to Mr. Freehorn. It's about time somebody stood up to him, because he is a dick. And you've got to love the rainbow faces who in one of the greatest plot twists in Land Before Time history had turned out to be aliens just taking the form of dinosaurs. That's an intriguing thought. Did aliens visit dinosaurs before us? They could very well have done. And also, some of the songs in this sequel, I will go as far as saying, are timeless classics from Beyond the Mysterious Beyond, which also gets a reprise by the Rainbow Faces at the end. But my number one personal favourite song would have to be Good Inside, Ducky's song. That song is incredibly underrated, doesn't get the credits from the Land Before Time fandom that it deserves. It's some food for thought for kids. That you shouldn't be too fast to judge people. They could be misunderstood. And Pterano's henchmen, Ringus and Zera, they make for surprisingly solid villains. Some of the stronger villains in this franchise. So in reality, the herd should be mad at them instead of Pterano. But in the negative section, my one significant flaw with this movie is the resolution of Pterano's character. Once he returns to the herd and has shown redemption by saving Ducky and the children's life, the herd, they are more generous to him than they were going to be for saving the children, but they still don't forgive him and don't put the past behind them. They banish him to the mysterious beyond until the 5 cold times have passed, meaning 5 years. I'm like, that... I'm sorry, but that punishment is unjustified. I'm sure he wasn't perfect in the past, but can't you leave that in the past? Can't you leave that in the past? Can't you move on? He did more than make up for that when he saved your children's life. Shouldn't that be more than enough for you to forgive him and accept him as one of the herd? He won't be any more trouble. So yeah, overall, Stone of Cold Fire is one of the Land Before Time sequels I love.
I give the Stone of Cold Fire 4 stars out of 5. Great movie.
So yeah, 19 years later, still a childhood classic, and this was one of the first Land Before Time sequels to incorporate CGI at the time when hand-drawn movies were combining with computer animation, and it helps this sequel feel a little grander and bigger budget, and the following sequels will continue to do this. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. What do you think of the Stone of Cold Fire? Please comment and let me know. Please like the video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you next time when I review Rocket Man. I'm finally getting that review done. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.